Right, good evening, PEL fans. Once again, I feel like I'm doing this every other day. Commit Agent Coach 704 here, and we are looking at the postseason awards. And if you won an award, you get the pleasure of getting a +3 attribute on any attribute that you would like to use it on, with the exception of speed. So once again, if you have won one of these awards we're going to go through, you get the choice of having a +3 attribute on any trait that you have to choose from, with the exception of speed. So I will reach out to you in DM if you won an award, and find out what boost you would like, and I'll do my best to get those boosts in before the playoffs start. Alright, so as you can see on your screen, the league MVP is Brad Kaya. He led that most of the season, no surprise there. Coach of the year, Kyle Shanahan for the 49ers. So when you win the Coach of the Year award, you get a +3 attribute boost on the player of your choosing, since it is not a player award. So Levi will get that option to pick a player that he wants a +3 attribute boost on. Alright, so let's jump to the NFC awards. So Brad Kyle will get another +3 for Offensive Player of the Year. And you see the other guys that were really close. Good effort in that race. Alright, and then Flanagan, of course, will get the well-deserved Defensive Player of the Year boost for the Eagles. I told you to watch Jefferson, man. I had a feeling he was going to win that. So he gets a +3 boost for winning that award. And he's probably going to have some other things like Pro Bowl and everything that's going to boost him also for winning that award. Lester Sanders, Defensive Rookie of the Year. He was leading that most of the year for the Falcons. Good job there. Brad Kyle will get his third +3 attribute boost. Not like he needs it, but he's earned it. David Johnson came back and grabbed the best running back award. So the Cardinals running back will get a +3 boost. Any attribute except for speed, once again. Odell Beckham, he'll get a +3 boost for being best receiver. Taylor Decker for the Lions, best OL, will get a +3 boost. Solomon Thomas will get a +3 boost for the 49ers. Congratulations. Flanagan again, that's his second +3 attribute boost. Now on these boosts, you can combine them and apply them how you would like. Okay, so keep that in mind. As long as it's not speed, we can put it anywhere you would like to put it. Eric Reed for the 49ers will get a +3 boost. Good job. And Dustin Hopkins comes and gets the kicker award at the last minute, and he will get a +3 boost as well. So if you won one of those awards in the NFC, I'll be reaching out to you in DM to see which players you would like, or how you want those points placed on those players that won the awards. Alright. For the AFC, Le'Veon Bell wins Offensive Player of the Year, so he'll get a +3 boost. Well earned. Shazier for the Steelers, Defensive Player of the Year, +3 boost. That's earned also. Great job. Long LaSure held on to the Rookie of the Year for Offense award. He'll get a +3 boost for the Colts. Carter White, Defensive Player of the Year for the Chiefs, will get a +3 boost. Matt Stafford, wow, okay. Best quarterback in the AFC. He wasn't in contention most of the year, but he must have had a couple good games down the stretch to get him that award. Good job. Bounce back season for the Jets. Le'Veon Bell will get his second +3 for winning best running back. Tyreek Hill, best wide receiver for the Chiefs, will get a +3 boost. Cordy Glenn for the Brooklyn Bills, +3 boost for best offensive lineman. Frank Clark, best D lineman, +3 boost for the Chiefs. Great job from that DN position. Jordan almost had it, man. Damn. Miles Jack, best linebacker for the Jags. No surprise there. He'll get a +3 boost. Artie Burns for the Steelers. Must have had a big game in that sim to really boost him up to get this award. He wasn't in contention in the top 3 for a while. But he will receive a +3 boost for this award. And the best kicker, Justin Tucker for the Ravens. And he will get a +3 boost as well. Good job to all you guys that won awards. Once again, I will be reaching out to you in DM if you won an award for the attributes and see how do you want those applied. Great job, everyone, this season. All right, so now to check to see if you guys won a Pro Bowl award, you can go to your, let's see here. You want to go to roster. And then what you want to do is, I think Trey won an award. Let's see. You want to check your progression history. So he made the Pro Bowl again. So you get a boost. You see the XP boost for that. If you want to see if your players made the Pro Bowl, once again, you'll go to your roster. And I'll show you again. You just go to roster. And then you'll just hit a player. And just scroll to progression history. And then you'll see what he got. Alright. Quicker way, you can just look at XP, and usually if your guy has a nice boost on XP, it probably means he won the Pro Bowl. So that's something you can do right now if you're not in the playoffs. You can take a look at that, see who your guys were that made Pro Bowl. Write a little article about them, something like that. I'm reading the chat. I see Cardinals says something about his progression being on auto. And, we said this before a couple times, guys. The way we have it set up, I'm just going to show you real quick in the league settings. So, one of the things you want to make sure of, and I try to prevent it and give you the most time because I got progression at the end of the season, okay? But one of the things you need to do on your league settings is to go down under your team settings and make sure progress players is off. And you see it right there. It says when set to on, the CPU will automatically progress your team's players throughout the season. If you have that on and you get on and you see there's no XP for your guys, it's the end of the regular season. So that's the latest I can set it here with the player progression frequency. All right. So once again, if you got burned, you got to learn a hard lesson, man. You got to turn that thing off and make sure you just check it periodically to make sure your progress players is off. Or otherwise the CPU will apply that XP and there's nothing we can do once it's gone. I don't have any tools to bring XP back, unfortunately. All right. Quick look and let's see the final standings and why people made the playoffs and why people didn't. We saw who's playing in the wild card. I've already posted that in the chat, so let's just kind of go through the conferences and break it down here. You see the 49ers got the number 1 seed in the NFC, and they have a bye and home field advantage. The Eagles, by virtue of beating the Lions, have the number 2 seed in the NFC and a bye and a home game in the divisional round. The Lions were the number 3 seed. And the Falcons are the 4 seed for winning the NFC South. Cardinals are the 5 seed, and the Seahawks are the 6 seed. So we know our matchups. The Lions are hosting the Seahawks, and the Falcons are hosting the Cardinals in the first round, with the Eagles and 49ers having byes. We jump to the AFC. The Steelers, of course, he got the forced win over me in the final game of the regular season. They have home field and a bye in the first round. We are the number 2 seed in Brooklyn, and we have a bye in a home game in the divisional round. Now, craziness occurred here. In week 17, we had some bonker things happen that caused this situation. So you got the other 4 teams in the AFC are 11-5. The Chargers beating the Chiefs won them the AFC West, and they earned a 3 seed because of that. All right. The 4 seed are the Jaguars for winning the AFC South. The 5 seed are the Browns by virtue of them winning. And then the 6th seed are the Chiefs because they lost to the Chargers. They lost the tiebreaker because they lost both games to the Chargers, and then knocked them all the way down to the 6th seed where they get a rematch of the Chargers in the first round, which I'm sure they're not happy about. The Browns will face the Jaguars in the 4-5 matchup. And like we said, the Bills and the Steelers have byes. The Dolphins were in a good spot, but they lost a sim game to the Patriots that put them at 10-6, and it gave them a nightmare scenario. They were really in a good place because they had a good AFC record at 8-4. So what happened is their overall record obviously wasn't good enough. Losing that sim to the Patriots really screwed them because you had the Chiefs fell, and the Chiefs losing really hurt because that pushed a 10-6 team out, because at 11-5 they were going to get in no matter what. So that was a nightmare scenario for the Dolphins with the sim. And then of course the Browns winning was pretty much the nail in the coffin, because we knew the Chiefs were at 11 wins and they were going to be in no matter what. But the Browns winning knocked the Dolphins out ultimately. And when you look at the tiebreaker scenario, the Browns got to 8-4 also. Now, why they got the 5 over the Chiefs, we'd have to explore to see if the Browns and the Chiefs played this year and if there was a tiebreaker involved. Otherwise, they had identical situations. They're both 11-5. They're both 8-4 in the AFC. And, there could be some other tiebreaker at play that Madden had if these guys didn't play. But it's a tough break for the Dolphins. I did joke in the chat about that, but no, he deserved to be in the playoffs. He was the only one that beat us on the field, and we had the sim loss to the Steelers. So, anytime you beat a team in the top of the conference twice, you deserve to go to the playoffs. And honestly, I do hate it because you want the best of the best in there. Not to saying that these guys don't deserve it, because hell, they do. But this is the statement that I made in the chat. This is why I always say the AFC is the best conference. You got 2 10-6 teams out this year. They had 3 10-6 teams out last year, and I was one of those. So I know the pain in Miami. We felt it last year in Brooklyn. We busted our ass at the end of the season and tried to get in, and we couldn't get in. And we felt like we were really playing our best then and could have made some noise. And I feel the same way about the Dolphins. They were playing their best. They were peaking at the right time. And the unfortunate situation with the sim, they couldn't get in and make some noise like I thought they were going to. The Colts also, you see they won their last 3 coming down the stretch. They made a good run, and they couldn't get in. Both of these guys would raise hell in the NFC, and I think they would be in over some other guys over there. But that's for another day. And even the Jets at 9-7, man, they made a good run. They couldn't pull out that week 17 game there. But all 3 of those teams, like last year, were deserving to get into the playoffs, in my opinion. And, I think the trend is going to happen again. One of these guys, one of these 10-6 teams will be in the playoffs next year, and somebody that's in the playoffs right here will fall out. That's just how the AFC goes. I mean, it's a razor-thin margin between success and failure. And, I just want to say good job, and then watch out for the Broncos. They finished strong. I believe they won 4 out of their last 5 games. They figured something out up there. They're going to be a tough out. I think Cody's going to be better also. And then these guys in the Ravens and the Bengals are going to make noise also. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Lee from the Panthers has chosen to retire. So we do have an opening. We're going to recruit. If you do know somebody, the recruiting bonus will be in effect. And what the recruiting bonus is it's going to be a free development upgrade for one of your players if you bring in somebody to the league and they play at least half of the next season. All right, so recruiting bonus is in effect for the Panthers. If you know someone that wants to be a part of a league where we produce excellent content on a consistent basis, not just from myself but from all of you, please invite them in. I think we are really doing an excellent job right now and putting things out there and doing extra things to make the league a little bit better than your normal standard Madden league. All right, so real quick preview of the playoffs. Since we're not going to be doing this again until storylines on Sunday, which it might be over by then. If we move at a warp speed pace, which we have before, but we'll see with the holidays. It may be a challenge. All right, so we got Chiefs-Chargers. The Chargers have won the first 2 games, of course. That's how they won the division. I always believe, it's hard to beat a really good team 3 times. And despite the sandbagging ways of the Chiefs, they are a really good team. It would not surprise me if the Chiefs were able to rise up and defeat the Chargers in this game, to be honest with you. But the lag is gone for Deontay, so, he could be back to his old ways and win this game. Seahawks-Lions. This is a really good matchup. The Seahawks did a good job of doing enough to get into the playoffs, and this is the classic battle of defense versus offense. The Seahawks are really good on defense, and the Lions, we know how good they are on offense. I think I'm going to share a couple things with my thoughts on how to slow down the Lions. Having played them a couple times, you've got to take away the big play and force them to drive the field. With a quarterback like Kai, he can make every throw that's out there. You have got to make sure that Jefferson and those guys in the receiving core are not beating you deep. And the Seahawks have a good formula or personnel to do that. So I expect this to be a close game. The key is going to be if Ben doesn't turn the ball over against him. If he does turn the ball over, I think it's going to be lights out because, you give Kendall extra possessions. It's going to be like taking poison to your head. You're just shooting yourself and might as well just be suicide. I expect that to be a close game. Browns, Jaguars, these guys have faced each other before, and it's a battle of 2 good guys that user the linebackers really well. So what I would expect to see is I would see a couple of turnovers on each side, and the guy that's going to win the game is the guy that can maximize those turnovers. I think they both run the ball well. They both have guys that can run the ball well. The Browns have a really good offensive line. Of course, the Jaguars with Fournette is kind of a cancellation of their line, but their line's pretty good too. That game's going to come down to the wire. The Browns have been playing close games all year long. I don't think this one's going to be any different. And then Cardinals and Falcons, Jeff just played a game against Lee. They ended up tying in overtime. And, he's got to be careful with the football, man. From what I know about the Cardinals, they're pretty good at on defense and taking things away. So, like I said with the Lions, you can't give up the big play if you're the Cardinals. And if you're the Falcons, if you're able to protect the football, their talent, I think they're more talented, but I think the Cardinals have the stick skills, and that's a great equalizer. And if they force turnovers, I like their chances over the Falcons in that one. And then once again, the Steelers and Bills have byes in the AFC, and the 49ers and Eagles have byes in the NFC. All right. So I'm going to end it right there. Thank you guys for watching. The replay will be up shortly, or it's already posted in the chat, but I'll post it again in breaking news so you can see it from its entirety. And I'll be reaching out to award winners in DM. All right, guys, good luck in the playoffs. And once again, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you. Thanks a lot.